Welcome everyone to ATI After the Impact, and you might recognize these people. We were just all together not more than 15 minutes ago.
Holy intro! Wow.
Yeah, that's good, right? Yeah, that's right. Kazzy has been here. So, yeah, well, there you go. We are here to talk about, of course, the show we just watched. And we'll start off with the scores and stuff like we did last time. We'll go over a little bit of the show. And then, of course, we are going to use the rest of this as a prediction show for Rebellion on Sunday. So, without further ado, hello to everybody who's joined. I see Kevin. I see Cheese Whiz says, I'm back. I'm back. James Chadwick is here. J Hub is here as well. And DJ Kryptonock is here also. So welcome to those who have joined us. And yeah, so let's first, you guys can all, that you haven't done so already, give us your scores for tonight's Go Home show. What did you think of the show? And we will do the same. So, Tazzy, what did you think? I mean, the first week back for a little while. What did you think of the Go Home show tonight?
I was choosing just to watch it live and just in general, but it's like it never changed when I thought like normal is always like. Storylines has been like it's supposed to. The psychology in the ring is awesome. I actually got no. I wasn't too upset about the ending of the the Hogan and Grace match. I kind of was, but I kind of get it. I get it. But I'm with it. I've seen a lot of things set up for Sunday, and that's what you're supposed to do. And shout outs to Impact for doing that correctly and not have doing it. So I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Okay. All right. What did you think of the show, Jeff?
I mean, I thought it was a good show. I feel like it's a typical Impact Go Home show. Just setting up things for Sunday and, getting us hyped for some matches. And, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed which this is going to be a sore spot for Joe, but I really enjoyed the Good Brothers in Decay. I felt like,
Scott Demore.
Yeah. I felt like that was a good match, but I thought overall it was a good show. I'm gonna give it an 8.75.
Okay, fair enough. Somebody said they missed my living room, so there you go. My living room is back. I'm back in my living room. I wish it was my living room. Let's see what people are saying here in the chat, and I will give you mine. We've got an 8 out of 10 from J-Hub, an 8 out of 10 from DJ Kryptonock, an 8 out of 10, great build from Mazon, 8.5 from Sean Rousset, 7 out of 10 from Cheese Whiz, 9 out of 10, really great show, says James. Would have been a 9 if we got a full match with Decay and the Good Brothers. I think that may have been due to a Tarus injury, but we'll have to find out. J-Hub is effing Tony Khan. There's my living room is on. Are you happy? Alyssa, I'm sorry. What, Jeff?
It's not PG. You can say it.
Oh, I keep forgetting. Yes, I can say it.
I was like, why is he?
I can. See, I'm so used to the PG stuff. It's fuck you, Tony Khan. Just wanted to say fuck you. So I put Tony Khan's name on it. Haha. You just wanted to hear me read that. That's what it is. I see you. I know what you're doing there. Alyssa Stansberg 9. Do you agree with Vince? They need to go. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Do I agree with Vince? And I don't know what you're talking about with Vince. Trent Hatchett. If there's no winner, somehow I wonder if there will be a 3-way for all the belts between Moose, Omega, and Swan. C says returned. Very cool. Thank you for returning. Vince. I think you're saying Vince is out of touch. Alyssa. I mean, well, being that we're in an Impact stream, that might be more of a comment for Saturday's show. So you may want to pop back in for our podcast on Saturday. We talk about more WWE. James Chadwick. See, now you're all just following the same thing. Tony Khan is a fucking prick. He ain't that bad. He ain't that bad. Oh, God. Yes. So the F bombs are just flying here as we start our non-PG stream. See, everybody can just let loose. That's what everybody's doing. I'm going to give this, and again, I have to go back and watch damn you, Scott D'Amore, the Decay match. I have to watch the before the Impact match too. I caught the very tail end of that. So I have to go back and watch those. But from what I saw, yeah, I think it was. I'll tell you, I have to knock off some points because no swingers. Was there a swingers palace tonight? I didn't see it. If there was, yeah, they have to lose points for that. Whenever there's no swingers palace and I don't get to hear my music that I love so much, yeah, you have to lose points for that. But look, it's a go home show. Like Tazzy said, they advanced the storylines. Of course, with that 4 versus 4 match, whoever's going to replace Eric Young in that, we saw that end the night. So, of course, things going forward from there. The whole thing with Omega, Don Callis, and Rich Swann. And then, of course, the surprise appearance by Moose was really cool. We got to see we haven't seen him for a while. So I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. So I'm going to say, yeah, I think it's about right. I'm going to say, and it seems like what everybody in the chat are saying too, I'm going to say an 8.5. I'll give it an 8.5. Go home shows can be really hit or miss. We've seen some in other companies be not good at all. So they are very, very hit or miss. But I think this was a good one. And then, of course, we got to see Jordan Grace's tag team partner as well, which was a surprise to many of us. So did not expect that. So, yeah, there was no swinger. James Chadwick was happy about that, though. He says, thanks, fuck, there was no swinger. See, man, the Johnny Swinger hate, I dig that guy. I love that whole segment, man. I love it. C's going off. He's saying Dave Meltzer is a sexist drinker. Guy needs to go back to his basement and eat shit. It's his favorite diet. Hence, he talks it constantly. Dave Meltzer is the fucking prick, can rot in hell. C is cutting loose here on Dave Meltzer. DJ Cryptonox says, fuck. See, now it's just you see, you're all just doing it. You just want me to read it now. It's not even pointless. It's just pointless. Now look at the act. See, now I'm just not going to read any more chat. Oh my God. Anyway, all right, let's go back, and I'll let Tazzy and Jeff talk about the Decay and the Good Brothers match that I missed. You know what? Fuck you, Scott. There you go. You want to get me in here? See, you got me started. You want to get me going? There you go. There you go. There.
Oh, that's so good. That's so.
And now you know what's going to happen. Now Jeff's going to cut that clip, and I'm screwed. Oh God!
As we speak right now, he's doing it.
Oh, I know. It's already underway. I know. Yep, I'm done. I'm done. We have to find something that Joe will not read. Hashtag break Joe. No, don't do that. Joe has been broken several times over already today. You're fired, says Cheese Whiz too. All right. So let's just talk about some of the matches. I did see the end of the Decay match. Obviously, we hope first and foremost that Taurus is okay. It didn't look good. The way he went down and kind of grabbed, and it looked almost like he grabbed that same area that Eric Young hurt. So hopefully he didn't tear something there too. It didn't look good, and it didn't look good the way he tried to tag out and then roll out of the ring. So let's hope that didn't happen. But it was a pretty convincing win from what I saw, at least at the end for the Good Brothers, guys.
Yeah. I mean, it's exactly what you would want to happen leading into the match that they have Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. That, and then they got a chance to cut that promo at the end and talk a bunch of big shit to Finju. So
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it looks like the Good Brothers are gaining momentum that they need to go into that big match. And we'll talk about the predictions and who we think. And you guys can tell us who you think is going to win all of the matches. We're going to go over that really soon. But Tazzy, what did you think of the opening match?
When me and Jeff talked about the what's going on for today, I honestly thought it was going to be turn around and turn into a triple threat match. But I don't think it's going to happen now because the way Jerusalem fell out of the ring don't look good at all. Like I was hoping for a triple threat that it would be even more better. It's good the way it is now, but it's totally fine. But this match was good. This match was good. We didn't have to cut it short, but it's all right. I'm totally with it.
The Will Jacks Effect says, "What up, party people? I'm here." Hello, Will Jacks Effect. Welcome to the show. Yeah, and then obviously, let's talk about the and I'm sure Tazzy will have no problem at all talking about this. The Fire and Flava against Jordan Grace. Of course, it started off as a singles match and then ended up turning into some shenanigans afterwards. So, Tazzy, what do you think of that heading into Sunday?
I oh my god, where do I start? Holy fuck. Okay.
It's a good start.
Right? I feel like this is I hate to say this. I really, really hate to say this, but their reign might end this Sunday. I don't want it to, but you got to be honest with yourself and everything like that. It's like the way the storyline is, I don't see them winning this Sunday. So we might have new champions on Sunday. However, the match today was good, which was a little bit longer because I feel like with the two women we had in the ring, it could go longer, have a great match, but it's okay. But yeah, I honestly think we'll talk about it, but yeah, it's going to be very interesting on Sunday.
Azan White telling us how he feels. Rachel's a good get, and she's a smoke show, says Azan White. Yes, Rachel Ellering is the partner of Jordan Grace, which was revealed during that match. Kind of had said that. I know Tazzy and Jeff talked about it as well. Figured if Jordan was going to get double teamed, you'd probably see her partner come out, and that's who it was. It was Rachel Ellering. So not someone maybe a lot of people would have thought was going to be the case, but in any case, pretty cool. Formerly of NXT and also was in AEW, as Jeff said, for a cup of coffee. So a very short stint. So we'll see how that ends up on Sunday. So Jeff, what do you think of the Rachel Ellering as a partner of Jordan Grace?
I like it. I mean, I think she's very talented, and I was surprised that AEW didn't snatch her up after the women's tag team tournament. So I'm glad to see her at Impact. It just adds another, strong, talented female to that knockout division. And, and also I feel like it bolsters the knockout tag team division because honestly, a lot of people were saying, well, where are they going to go after this if Fire and Flava win? What teams do they go after? And there's a lot of, there are a lot of things that you can do differently now with having them there. So with having her there. So yeah, I thought it was a great match, and I thought it was a great shock because definitely not who I would have picked.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was good to see her, and I think it puts a lot of what could be now very up in the air title reign for Fire and Flava. They might, like Tazzy was saying, could very well lose those titles, but we'll see. There may be shenanigans that may stop them from losing the titles. You never know. Sometimes when somebody gets a new partner, someone brings someone else in as well, and you might see something happen. You never know. We may see some shenanigans on Sunday. I'm sure we will at some point. So let's get to the Rich Swann promo that ended up being completely all Don Callis and Kenny Omega. And then, of course, we got a Moose return at the very end of that. So, and either way, when you look at this from any direction, Rich Swann is a wanted man. And unfortunately, I mean, he came out, started giving a little bit of his own promo, got completely interrupted by Callis and Kenny, who kind of stole the show. And then the next thing you know, before he looks, here comes Moose. And Moose is saying, you better not lose that title. So basically threatening him not to lose the belt. So Rich Swann's kind of screwed either way you look at it. So, but I think it was a good promo. It was good to see Moose back. And again, we were just talking about that and his, the status of his contract. So now you have another little mix added to the story. Because now if Kenny does win, it obviously seems as if Moose is going to be the next guy up. At least it would look that way. And then if Rich wins, then we could very well get in a rematch of him and Moose, which was a phenomenal match. We just saw that happen not that long ago. Mm-hmm. So either way, it should be, fun. It just added some more to the storyline and we'll see what happens. Like I said, don't be shocked if now they did say they're going to get a clear-cut winner, but you don't know how that's going to happen. So there could end up being some interference and the match just continues. We've seen that before. So don't be shocked if you see Moose end up being out there. What you may be shocked, though, is at who he ends up maybe helping, because you might think he may not help Rich Swann in any way, shape, or form. But don't be surprised if you see him come out there and something ends up happening between him and Kenny Omega. Don't be shocked. Because that certainly is a way they could go. So what did you guys think about that? Jeff, what did you think about the Rich Swann promo?
Well, I thought it was good. Again, I mean, Impact does this so well. They continue storylines and just add layers to them. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, let's be real for a minute. Is there a bigger underdog story in how long that you're building this up to be? Because, like you said, he's getting it from both sides now.
He is.
And no one's giving him a chance to win this thing. So,
yep.
I mean, they're just building this thing up to be like a Rocky-esque type story. It just depends on which Rocky film they want to end it like,
Imagine the celebration if he wins.
Right.
Imagine the pop that he will get from that Impact Arena if he wins. Like literally all the Impact people we saw them tweeting. We saw like people like Brian Myers tweeting out saying, what the hell are we going to do if he loses? So they're kind of getting into it. Could you imagine the pop if he wins? Like somebody will probably come out there. They'll carry him on their shoulders. They might have streamers and fire and things going off inside of the arena. It's going to be a hell of a pop if he would win because everybody has him losing. Everybody has him losing. I mean, I think I saw a poll on Twitter that somebody had who was going to be the first champion of all these champions to lose their belt, and overwhelmingly Rich Swann was almost 90%. Of all the champions that are current champions of all their respective leagues right now, the men's champions, who would be the first one to lose their belt? And Rich Swann was number one by far. So nobody thinks he's going to win. Nobody. So James saying Omega can just fuck off. Not a Kenny fan either. Yes. Cheese Whiz says play something on my piano. Oh yeah, you like my piano back there? That's where I go to have my cognac. And I sing Piano Man every Saturday night by Billy Joel. I sing, every Saturday I go back there. I do that. All right, so that was that promo. We talked obviously about the fatal four-way at the end and how Eric Young got all the way through that, which I still have no idea. I mean, modern medicine's a wonderful thing, and apparently that's probably what it was. But you did see him kind of limping a little bit at the end, so that was a lot of fun. Of course, that broke out into what we thought it would at the very end of that match as well. So anything else that stick out to you guys from the show? And then if not, we will move on and we will start our predictions for Rebellion. Go ahead, Tazzy.
I just everything was set up today. Everything set up like it was supposed to. And like I said earlier, I'm excited for Sunday, man. I like the card that I found out about tonight. I I can't wait to all the matches.
Yeah.
It's not even a one match I'm particularly looking at. We know what match we're actually really looking at, but all the matches are really good, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Jeff?
Man, just trying to. I'm so excited for Sunday,
Yeah.
and I mean, this. I feel like we're gonna get something big Sunday, one way or the other. Uh, and this is something that doesn't happen often. But as far as tonight's show, I mean, whenever you start out a night like they did with for the Impact with that triple threat, which was a good match, it was a really good match.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have a good night, and I mean, the only two things I want to wish Eric Young a speedy recovery because, man, what he's done since he's been in Impact since last year at Slammiversary, he's been killing it. So, I want to wish him well, and I just want to tell folks, just get your popcorn ready. Sunday's gonna be a show.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, don't miss it. Don't miss it. If anything, and I know a lot of you people, a lot of you guys aren't a fan of Kenny, but if anything, it's going to be a history-making event, no question. So, as wrestling fans, you want to be around for things like that because they don't come around often. And especially once this all ends and we go back to normalcy and a lot of these people start touring, right? So, the AEW starts going off on their own and Impact starts, doing things and having fans back. It's going to bring the landscape back to where it was before, and you won't be able to get a lot of this stuff happening. So this could be a once in a lifetime deal that you're seeing here. So don't not look at it from a historical standpoint because it could be something really, really big that we don't get to see again. So, somebody asked me something up here about, do I play Big Shot? The song Big Shot. That's a great song. Because you had to be a big shot, didn't you? You had to open up your mouth. Great song. I love Billy Joel. Yes. Don't let Kenny do the fucking explosion for the celebration. Yeah, well, I kind of don't think if he's in the Impact Arena, I kind of don't think they would do that. That's like pouring salt on an open wound. So if he wins, he's going to run out of there like he did when he beat Moxley. I really don't think he'll stick around. So yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. My living room looks the same as Vicky Guerrero's house. Are you spending time in Vicky Guerrero's house, Chad? And how do you know that?
Don't comment.
How do you know that? Sunday's going to be a great show. Yes, I agree. So, with that said, let's get to our predictions for Rebellion. And there it is. The graphic is up there. Sunday, April 24th, live on pay-per-view. Don't forget to go and get it on Fight TV if you haven't done so already. Make sure that you watch along with us. And like I said, if the pre-show starts at 7, we'll probably start about 7:30. I think so. Yeah, I think 7:30. And then we will get right into it at 8 o'clock, which is cool because that's around the time I will be getting home. So I will not be missing. And I'm sure, I'm sure someone will make sure that the pre-show match that I can't watch will be Decay at some point, or it'll just be a Rosemary match. So I'm sure that will happen. Are you listening? Are you listening? Because I know you are, and I'm sure that Decay or Rosemary will be on the pre-show somehow. So there you go. Will Jack's Effect says, I hope Kenny retains on Sunday. Well, he won't only retain, but he will win 2 other belts. So he will have a lot more gold. So there you go. All right, let's get to the Rebellion card, shall we? Jeff, where are we going to start out? All right, well, here we go. We are starting out with, now this has been building up for quite a while, the 2 broskies. We never thought we'd see this. The 2 guys who used to do toy hunts together and stuff like that are now at war. Brian Myers against Matt Cardona. Now, we saw that thing where they were picking each other's opponents and stuff like that, which was kind of cool. So now it finally comes to this. We're getting the Pirate, Arg, Brian Myers against Matt Cardona. So who do you got in this one? We'll start with Jeff. Jeff, who do you got winning this?
Listen, the Pirate is going to get his butt kicked.
Okay.
I think Matt Cardona is going to win this. And honestly, folks, I would not be surprised if Matt Cardona didn't end up going after that X Division title at some point.
Okay. That'll be interesting, especially if I kind of have a feeling who we might be picking for that. And if that's the case, Cardona versus the person who we might be picking to win that will be a really interesting match.
Yes.
Really interesting match. So, yeah, okay. I can see where you're going there. Tazzy, what do you think? Brian Myers, the Pirate, or Matt Cardona?
Brian Myers will not win this match on Sunday. I think Matt has the better future on here, which means he can actually probably, like Jeff did, go for the X Division title, or heck, why not go for the main title? You know what I mean? It's going to be a great match. The guys know each other very well from like way back from the SmackDown Rated R days and all that good stuff. So I'm excited about this match. So I looking forward to it. But Matt got this go all the way.
All right, Cardona versus Josh James. Yes, I think that's what we're all thinking about. Michael Marone, shout out to you. Welcome to the show. I gotta tell you guys, I think I'm going against you here. And the reason, look, every time you bet against Myers, he wins. And I don't know what it is, but Myers hasn't lost very often since we've seen him there. He always seems to find, he's just one of those heels that always kind of seems to find his way out of messes. And what I kind of think is going to happen here is I kind of think that someone is going to interfere on his behalf. I don't know who it'll be, but I kind of have a funny feeling that's what ends up happening here. And I think Myers sneaks out of there with a win. I don't think this is going to end here. I think they'll continue this for a little bit. And although I would love to see Matt, come out of it and go, for that X Division championship, I think that would be cool. But I think this will continue just a little bit. After this, maybe you'll even get a follow-up match on Impact. They do that a lot. When they have big pay-per-views, they sometimes the very next Impact after have a follow-up match, and maybe that's where Matt will get his revenge. But I think Brian's going to sneak out of this. And I just don't know how, but I think something's going to happen that's going to enable him to sneak out of this with a win. He does it a lot. So, breaking news, Big Dan says, Cardona was let go over the Mickie James incident per Wrestling Inc. My apologies to Don Callis for butting in with the WWE news. Cardona, I don't know who that is. I know Gina Carano, the actress who everybody doesn't like now, but I don't know. I don't know who Carano is. So, well, there you go. Jesse Callan, I think, is in there. Hello, Jesse. The other Jesse just showed up. Hello to you, Jesse, as well. That is Jeff's co-host on his horror podcast. So, hello, Jesse. All right. So that is that. We picked that match. What's next, Jeff?
All right. Well, obviously, we have a change here, but Violent by Design versus James Storm, Chris Sabin, Eddie Edwards, and Willie Mack.
This has my vote for probably being the craziest match of the day, because when you get these these fatal four ways, and now you have a 4-on-4 tag match, all hell's going to break loose. You just know that's going to happen. The big thing here to watch is who the replacement is for Eric Young. That's going to be the big thing. And who are they going to get to replace him is going to be, kind of cool to see. We don't really know. For that reason, I'm going to go with the heel team here because I don't know who that's going to be. I mean, everybody else you could kind of think of being in that spot. I think are going to be busy with other matches. So I don't know. This is a tough call. But who do you think replaces Eddie Edwards in this match? You guys can shout out that too. Like, who do you think replaces him as part of this four-way? And will it be enough to overcome Storm Sabin, Edwards, and Willie Mack? I don't know. We'll see. But I think it would be cool. Imagine if it was Moose. Imagine Moose replaced Eric Young in the group. Could you imagine the strength of that team?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking even Callahan, like Sammy Callahan, but I know Callahan's got that match too. So I don't know. This is going to be interesting to see who they get to replace him. But I'm going to go with the bad guys just because there's that element of surprise that they're going to have. That someone's going to come in there and be the one that's going to take the place of Eric Young. Tazzy, what do you think of this one?
It's funny. I was actually going for Storm and Sabian and the rest of the team before the whole injury with Eric Young, which was really funny. But now I got to go on the other side because you don't know. They don't know who that other opponent is going to be. It could be anybody. It could be anybody they pull out of there. So it's like I have a huge feeling this is going to be a holy shit moment. Like, we're going to get somebody that is like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. But, so I'm expecting VBD to actually win this match.
Some people are saying a returning Heath Slater with a whole new VBD gimmick. Ooh, interesting. Well, his friend Rhino is there, right? And I mean, the last time we saw Heath Slater, he was kind of going up against D'Amore a little bit, so there was some friction there between those two. So, I could see that. I could see that. That would be interesting. Jeff Samuel says Eddie Edwards turns heel. Okay. I think anything can happen in wrestling, so who knows? But I think it's going to be interesting to see. What do you think, Jeff?
I'm going to throw out a couple names here.
Okay.
And people might think I'm a little bit crazy, but that's fine. I've been called worse. We recently saw Chris Harris returning to the side of James Storm to be there for his 1,000th match. Keep that in mind. We could see a debut. There's a young man who just happens to be married to the Knockouts champion or is dating her. A man by the name of Steve Cutler. Formerly of the Forgotten Sons.
Okay.
That would be perfect.
Just going to throw that out there.
Okay.
I do think, however, that whatever happens, we get a heel turn. And it's not the people, in my opinion, that others have said thus far. Eddie Edwards is really obvious.
Yeah.
But what if Violent by Design added another enforcer like Willie Mack? How crazy and out of left field would that be? It'd be absolutely insane. And because of the uncertainty, I've got Violent by Design.
Okay. Yeah, Willie Mack heel turn. Look, it would fit some storylines as well. I mean, all that abuse that he took from Moose time after time after time. So sometimes when that kind of stuff happens, it's better to join him than to try to beat him. And that will cause people to do heel turns. So yeah, dude, that'd be awesome. That'd be really cool. The Forgotten Sons have been forgotten again, says James Chadwick. We never know. Maybe Moose to replace him, or they bring back Heath Slater. Yeah, we all kind of agree, and I think the chat agrees too, that I think something crazy is going to happen on that team. So whoever that ends up being, and maybe it ends up being a 3-on-4. They don't get anyone right away, at least. And maybe there is a heel turn, and maybe that will happen. So either way, it's interesting. We all think that something kind of cool is going to probably happen during this match. All right, what do we got next?
All right. Up next. Yeah.
Oh,
for me, this is the craziest match.
That's true. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, crazy as in blood crazy. Yeah. Whenever Sammy is involved in something, it's going to be insane and intense. And last man standing match, of course, as well. There probably, that title, There Will Be Blood. There probably will be blood here. So there goes James Chadwick. James Chadwick's going to be like, yes, like Beavis and Butthead. Yeah, blood, yeah. Yes. So I'm guessing we're going to see something brutal during this match. So, yes, there goes James. I told you right on cue. Bring on the fucking violence. Yeah. So, Jeff, who wins? And, how much destruction are we going to see?
Oh, my God. There's going to be so much violence and destruction in this match. These two guys are going to beat the absolute hell out of each other. But, honestly, the story that they've been telling with this is that Sammy is trying to get him to flip a switch.
Yeah.
And I honestly believe we're going to see that switch flipped. And I think Trey is going to win. I mean, you could go either way, but I think they have some big plans for Trey. So I think that's the way they'll go. I do believe that Trey Miguel will win this one, and it'll be a hell of a match. I'll just put it at that.
Yeah. It's going to be it's absolutely going to be a show for sure. Beaten to a bloody pulp, says DJ Kryptonok. Jeremy, we're going to get to that in just a little bit, so hang on. We'll get to the main event very soon. Azan says it's a toss-up. DJ agrees with Jeff. Randy Sam says, question, James Storm turn heel. Smash Saban's head and joins VBD. Maybe James Storm could turn heel too. Yeah, sure. I mean, why not? I mean, yeah, you never know. Anybody can. It's certainly a possibility as well. Tazzy, what are you thinking?
I really like Sammy, but the way the storyline is going, you have to go for Trey to go win this match. I'm excited because there's going to be a lot of violence in this match. You know me, I love violence. Please give me more violence. I want
James Chadwick.
I want table, chairs, ladders. We don't really need ladders, but we got to get ladders. A kitchen sink if we can do that. Don't forget, we need Kindle sticks. You can't forget Kindle sticks.
Oh, that I'm sure they won't.
I need all that. But the storyline is basically built around Trey Miguel, they're trying to get an edge on him. Sammy is. So for that in mind, Trey will win this match. But it's going to be a great match, and I can't wait. Give me more violence.
I'm gonna have to say, because of the progression of the storyline, that Trey is gonna win this too. The only thing, Mike, the only question I have is, does Trey turn to the darkness? Is Trey going to turn full on heel after this match is my question. Because that is kind of what the Sammy is trying to do, right? Is kind of just bring him over to his side of thinking. So does he drive him to that where he will just end up being a full on heel afterwards? So we'll see. Maybe that's the way that they're going to go with him. But I do have a feeling that Trey Miguel comes out on top in this match. But I'd be interesting to see how far he drives him, and then what kind of Trey Miguel do we see after the Rebellion pay-per-view is over and going forward. So, all right. Well, we all seem to be in agreement there. Even Havoc calls Sammy a wanker, says James Chadwick. All right. What is up next?
Oh, boy. This triple threat.
The one that's going to have my brain fried and not be able to talk about an hour afterward. These X Division matches are always insane. This is going to be no different. Chances are this may start the show. They like to do that to get everybody going right away. So this match could start off the show. TJP, Ace Austin, Josh Alexander, Madman Fulton outside. We've seen this a lot before. We just saw an amazing match with Josh and TJP, which, I mean, got accolades from everyone this past week, like people sharing that on Twitter. And throw Ace Austin into the mix. And we've seen Ace with TJP in the ring several times. So all three of these men are very familiar with one another. And man, any of them could be picked to win it. But that said, I think it is Josh Alexander's time. I just think it's time for him to get some gold. He's been on a quest to get this title, and I think he will take it away from Ace Austin here, and I think he will win the X Division title. And I'm not just saying that because I'm biased, because I want Josh to come and do his interview on our show, by the way. I'm not saying that. Maybe I am. Anyway, I think Josh Alexander comes out on top. I think I will probably have a hard time calling this match. I can probably predict that. And I think I will probably have next to no voice after this match is over. So, but I would probably also bet that this starts the show. But other than that, Jeff, what do you think?
Man, this is such a difficult match to call. And I honestly feel like any of these guys could have it. But I'm just going to go ahead and be honest. Not just because I like the guy, but because I want the guy back on our show. Alexander. Like, I mean, yes, I want the interview, Chris. That's right. I want the damn interview.
Well, how cool is it going to be to see a guy sitting there with gold?
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
Exactly. Could Ace win? It is extremely possible, and I would not be surprised. But I will say this about this match. I truly believe that at the end of Rebellion, yes, we'll be talking about Omega and Swann, but the show stealer might be this match.
Very true. Yep, very true. I wouldn't be surprised either, because they kind of tend to do that. Tazzy, go ahead.
Oh, you guys gonna hate me. So here we go. I think any one of these guys can actually win this match. I want Josh Alexander to win, but I don't think he's going to, because there is a person outside the ring for the current champion at the time. So there could be some shenanigans going around here. Just throw it out there. So I really think Ace Austin is actually going to win this match because of Fulton outside the ring. That's the only reason I think he's going to win, because truthfully anybody can win, but since he got the X Factor, get the X Factor. No, it's good.
Well, don't forget about Petey Williams as well, though, because I mean, he can always come down if Madman Fulton's getting involved in the action. You might see Petey come down as well. So I think SC Williams brought that up. Josh Alexander wins by turning heel on TJP. Petey Williams to tease a new team. Yeah, I mean, you kind of hope that's not the case for Josh, because Josh, of course, just coming out of the whole thing with Ethan in the North and stuff like that, you kind of hoping he can get on his own with some singles stuff, and that doesn't happen. But it could certainly be another thing that can happen. So there you go. We have some stakes in this match, to say the least. So we do have some interest in who wins this one, but I think it's going to be a great match either way. All right, what's next?
So,
well, we know who that question mark is.
That's right.
We know who the question mark is. So the knockout tag team titles. We saw this tonight. Of course, Jordan Grace's partner is Rachel Ellering. So Rachel Ellering, Jordan Grace against Fire and Flava. I think it is the end. Taz is going to be sad, but I think it is the end of Fire and Flava's title reign. I think the other thing too that I have to look at it from this standpoint is I think Jordynne Grace is overdue for some gold. And I think that they will do that. I think that they will give her the gold, and also bringing in somebody new, bringing in Rachel Ellering and stuff like that, and putting gold on her, kind of right off the bat is also another thing as well to consider, because it kind of gets her right in the forefront. Now, how long Jordynne and she will carry the titles, I don't know. But I do think that they are going to win this match. Unless, like I said, unless something weird happens where Fire and Flava have somebody come and act on their behalf and something else happens that's kind of crazy. But other than that, I think Jordynne and Rachel are going to be the new Knockout Tag Team title holders after the event is over. Tazzy, I know you don't like that, but what do you think?
I don't know why this happened. No, just kidding. But I get it. I get the whole storyline. I get it. I honestly don't mind them losing, because I have a feeling they're going to get it back right away, because everybody knows Jordynne's contract is about to be up. So I don't see her ending Impact being a tag team competitor. I see her ending on her terms as a single competitor. So for that in mind, I can see them doing this, and probably in a month from now, they have another rematch and they'll get the title back. And that's that. So yes, they will lose the title, unfortunately, in my book, but it's okay. I can live without them not having time for a month.
Tazzy will get by for the month. There you go. Raven Johnson says, hi, guys, and new. Hello, Raven Johnson. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Hope you are enjoying the show so far. All right, Jeff, what are you thinking?
I got Fire and Flava retaining.
Oh, okay.
And I say that because I think that we'll get I think something crazy will happen in the finish, and that will lead to Jordynne Grace just being extremely pissed off. And I think her and Rachel Ellering are going to come to blows.
Oh, okay.
Because here's my thing. What's the best way to send off your current star and build up a new one? Mm-hmm. You have them feud. And I think that's what happens here. I think they end up feuding. And it's kind of a passing of the torch from Jordynne Grace to Rachel Ellering. And then Jordynne ends up wherever she ends up.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. I could definitely see that happening. All right. Let us move on, shall we? What is next?
All right. Man.
The Good Brothers and Finn Juice. Of course, the rematch that they've been asking for quite a while. Finn Juice, of course, took those titles and ran over to New Japan with them, so they didn't have a chance to do that. So who comes out on top? Do the Good Brothers win the titles back? I think so. And only because it really seems like they're kind of getting on a roll. They've been gaining momentum. They talked about that in their promo that they delivered after their match tonight, which they pretty much annihilated Decay. So I think they're kind of on a roll. And I do think, of course, it's going to fit the storyline. They will then carry the titles wherever they may end up going, whether that may be over to Japan at some point, or it might be over to AEW, and we might see something go on with the Young Bucks. Because while I know they're on Kenny's side right now, that could very well change. But I personally think that the Good Brothers will get their titles back here. And again, it may not be the last time these two teams meet, but I think for the time being, I think the Good Brothers will win in this one. So, and again, you could have some people acting on the Good Brothers' behalf. Maybe we even see the Young Bucks out there, and maybe they come down and maybe help them with some shenanigans and help them win, and then only to kind of further that story where it makes them kind of think that they're on their side and all that kind of stuff, and then turn around and maybe they're really not. So, but yeah, I think the Good Brothers retain here. Tazzy, what do you think?
Oh, I'm excited for like the Good Brothers to actually get the titles back. You know that. But this match is gonna be great. This is gonna be a great match. If you guys have not seen the first one, oh my god, this match is going to be insane. For storylines reasons, I think the Good Brothers gonna win. Because of the whole club storyline that's how it's going on. And pay attention, you might see them at the end of the night also. Just a heads up on that.
Yeah, that could certainly be a possibility for sure. Go ahead, Jeff. What are you thinking?
I've got the Good Brothers getting the belts back just because I think it makes sense, and I think you had to create a situation where, the Good Brothers kind of got caught. I mean, if you really think about it, for a while they were just kind of these happy-go-lucky, not really caring, and they've kind of been off their game, and that's the story here. And tonight, that promo that they cut after the match with Decay, I mean, that tells you right there their intensity is turned up. So, so I think that's a good thing. You're going to see. I think, just my opinion here, but I think as we move closer into the summer, watch who becomes champions in New Japan, in AEW, and in Impact, and then I think we could get some type of super show at some point where it's champions versus champions. Just my opinion.
Yep. Yeah, that'd be awesome. That would be awesome. So all in all, what he's saying is that this is leading into a bigger and larger storyline. So yeah, there you go. Could very well happen. Big Dan says, I like the Good Brothers. Good Brothers are winning, says Eric Travis. I think Eddie and John will challenge the Good Brothers if they win. All right, what do we got next? I think we have 2 matches left.
2 matches and both big ones. Deanna versus Tanil.
I mean, this is kind of a weird one because Deanna's been so, she's been so strong as champion. And I don't really think a lot of people are even giving Tanil a shot here. So it's really a big kind of an underdog story. And of course, you have Caleb outside the ring too, that you never know. I mean, he could get involved, although Kimberly may end up being down there at some point too with Deanna. Because she's usually always down at the ring with her as well. So, but I don't know. This one's hard to pick. Azan saying Dashwood. I mean, is it Tanil's time? Is it really her time? Is she the one that they've pegged to take that title off of Deanna, who's held it for a good amount of time now? And she's gone through some huge challengers. Is Tanil the one that they have picked to be the one that takes that title? Man, I don't know. What do you think, Jeff?
Man, let's take a little trip, shall we? I'm actually going with Tanil in this.
Okay.
Because I think we get an interference in this match. And it's not from Caleb with the K. I think we get an appearance from Su Yung.
Oh, boy.
And I think she cost Deanna, and I think it ends up being Deanna and Su Yung because I feel like that happening could possibly lead to a triple threat at Slammiversary, which I'd be totally down for.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, hey, anytime we get to see Su Yung in a pay-per-view, I'm down. So if that does indeed happen, that would be amazing. And of course, she has been involved as well. So we've seen her now a few times, and they do like to have her show up at big events. So yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. And maybe that's what they're leading up to with this. So we'll see. Tazzy, go ahead, man. What do you think?
Great minds think alike. So I was actually thinking the exact same thing. The way, like I said, the way the storyline has been going, it's going towards a returning Su Yung around this time. And that means Tanil is actually going to be a champion. Whoever thought that a couple months ago? But yeah, man. What's going to happen with we're probably more like we'll get Su Yung versus Deanna at some point within the next month or so. But what's going to happen after that, I have no idea. But I think Tanil is actually going to win. Thanks to Su Yung.
I mean, who can argue? I'm not going to argue with either of you. I kind of thought, and I really didn't have the Su Yung thing at top of mind, but I kind of thought that Tanil might win anyway, because again, it's like the story of where you just don't think she would just come up out of nowhere and win this. But now that you're mentioning the Su Yung thing, yeah, I want to see that. I want to see that. So let's go. I'm good. Conrad says I'm back. Hello, Conrad. Tessa hasn't even been in the news or anything like that. It would be a shock, says Chris. Yeah, I don't know. She's been she does a lot of stuff on Instagram. She's had pictures and stuff out there on Instagram. I don't know. I really don't know. There's all kind of rumors about her, and there always will be. She's almost like the CM Punk of women's wrestling. She gets talked about whenever there's an opening somewhere. I don't think this is it, and I don't think Impact would bring her. To be honest with you, I don't think Impact would bring her back. I really don't. I kind of just, I don't know. I just thought that, that they're sometimes companies are less willing to go after someone who was there before that they had bad dealings with. Remember that whole thing with the title and everything like that. So I don't think they've forgotten about that. So I don't know. I think my guess is I think Tanil will win this as well. So I agree. All right, guys, here we go. The championship match, the match that everybody will be watching, the main event. And there's Mauro Ranallo, we'll call it. So pretty cool. We get to hear Mauro. Always exciting to hear him back. I loved him in NXT. And I know that this is going to be fun to hear him calling the match. So Kenny Omega, Rich Swann for the title versus title. So Rich Swann would, of course, get the AEW title. Kenny would, of course, get both of Rich Swann's titles. If he wins, we've seen all the hype that there is. We've seen promo upon promo upon promo. We've waited for this way back when we first saw the banner for this event, and we saw the Omega symbol inside of the star. We knew that meant that Kenny was going to be involved in the main event. So who wins? Who do you think it is? Let us know in the chat who you think wins this. It is the ultimate underdog against the ultimate heel. So the underdog shouldn't have a shot. But if he does win, I don't know. They say there's going to be a clean finish. There will be a winner. We heard that at the press conference. So who is it going to be? Who do you guys have? Let me start with Tazzy. Tazzy, who's winning this thing, man?
It's one of those matches where it's like, oh, man, I don't know who's going to win until you see the go-home show. Because here's the real thing. If Kenny Omega wins, what happens after that for Impact? Who goes at? Can you have Moose go after the title at a different show? Because is Rey Omega going to actually come to the show? Is he really? Is he really come to the show? Really? So in that fact, speaking of Moose, I think Swan might win because of Moose. Because Moose wants that title, both titles, and I can see him helping Swan win this match. So I'll go with Swan on this one.
Oh wow, okay. Tazzy going for the underdog. Conrad says, I think AEW screws Swan out of the title. Aubrey counts the pinfall. Pure chaos. Okay, yeah, that's true. I mean, Aubrey is the official for the match, and that's an AEW official. So we know that AEW has been playing the heel role in this whole thing week after week with the promos with Tony Khan. That's what they've been doing. So would make sense. would make sense. Yes. All right. Go ahead, Jeff. Who's winning this thing, man?
Man, this is a tough one because I mean, with my heart, I want Rich Swann to win because I think if Swann were to win, let's say you're AEW and you want to get the belt off of Kenny Omega for whatever reason, maybe you don't, but you want to get the belt off of him. How do you do that without him looking weak to one of your people on your roster? You have him lose it to someone else, or in a way that doesn't make him look weak. But I think it makes so much sense for Kenny Omega to win because, again, I think, and maybe I'm wrong, I think this is a long-term play, though. I think the long-term play is for Moose to be the champion. And I feel like that's what's next. I think, storyline wise, Moose thinks that he's on par with Omega because of what happened at Hard to Kill. So how do you get there? You have Kenny win it, and then what you do is you have Moose go up against him, and it adds legitimacy to Moose for going after Omega, because at that point, if you're AEW, you have to start acknowledging Impact more on your show. You have to. So you get Moose come in on Dynamite one week and challenge him to the title, to a title match. And I think that's how we get there. I mean, like I said, I would love to see Rich Swann win because I think, there are a few matchups over in AEW that I would love for him to have over there. But yeah, I think Kenny wins this. Oh, and I forgot one part about the whole Moose thing. I think eventually with Moose, I think Don Callis ends up with Moose eventually.
Oh. Well, that wouldn't be the first time an Eric Bischoff type character screwed over one of the other people that he was working for. So that definitely could certainly happen. Yeah, I mean, what you said makes a lot of sense. I think everybody would be ultimately shocked. And if they're going for sheer shock value alone, then Rich Swann would be the winner. Because everybody would be absolutely shocked if he won this. I really think. Yeah, the Moose thing does make a lot of sense. If they're planning on going that way. And remember, Moose and Don Callis had that reaction in the hallway. They bumped into each other back there before that one match that they had where Moose was fighting for Impact. So, that could really put Moose in the forefront too, because it would make Moose out to be, even though he's still a heel character, it would make him out to be more of a face kind of for Impact itself, because he would be the one that's going back after him to get their title back. So again, whoever does that, of course, is going to be played out as a hero for Impact. Boy, oh boy, this is so tough to call, especially the fact that we know that you're going to get a legit win. I mean, and they're not just saying that, which I kind of don't think they are. I think there is going to be a legit winner. Maybe it'll be some kind of thing with the AEW ref, and maybe somebody does screw someone else. Maybe it's a weird finish to give the person the title. I mean, we've seen Omega get that over Moxley, so maybe something like that happens again, and maybe that'll be his MO to be able to win. We'll be winning that way. But I know, if Swann loses the next day, or that night, and the next day you're gonna see, Impact's effed. Impact screwed. They're done. It's over. Impact's DOA. They lost their belts. That'll be all over the place. I'm sure. And again, like I said on the beginning of the show, that Dreamer and Bully Ray are on Busted Open that very next day. So if you listen to that, you may want to give that a listen if it does happen, because he said he's going to call out Tommy and ask him what they're going to do now. So that's, that'll be out there too. I don't know. I've been varying back and forth on this for reasons I stated above for both of them. But I'm going to, man, like Jeff, I'm kind of torn, but I'm going to say, yeah, I think Kenny does win it. And only because I'm thinking of the more long-term thing too. And I'm not going to even try to steal Jeff's thunder with it because he mentioned the stuff with Moose. But I'm thinking more that this is going to continue between these companies. And the next one we get, we may involve a third in New Japan. And it may be an even bigger event than just this one is, involving all three companies. So that's what I think that this is and end up leading to. So Impact will be involved with those other two companies, with New Japan and with AEW, and I think that that's where this is headed. So I think Kenny will win it. So. All right. Well, there you go. There you have it. I really want Rich Swan to win, says Chad. Conrad agreed with Jeff. Moose completely outshined and outperformed Omega that night. James Chadwick said he did. Omega versus Moose on an AEW stage. It's all right. Yeah, that's all right. Some people were saying too in the chat that Swan may lose, but maybe he kicks out of the one-winged angel. Which could very possibly happen because they did build that up saying no one has ever done that. No one has ever done that. And maybe he does, and it'll stun that, it'll be like a big shock value moment where it'll stun Omega, and Callis will be like, oh my God, he kicked out. So that, yeah, they might let him do that. Of course, if they are going to end up having him lose the title, they may end up letting him do that for a big history kind of a thing for him. Chris says, fuck Kenny. Yep. I'm not surprised, Chris. Not surprised one bit. They say the champ will be on both shows as it's on. Yeah, they did say that. They did. Did y'all forget about the press conference? No, we talked about the press conference a lot. I have a strange feeling that Don will pay the ref off to let Kenny win. I don't know. Maybe. And maybe it wouldn't be Don. Maybe it would be Tony Khan. Tony Khan's played a villain in this too, so maybe it would be Tony Khan. So there you have it, guys. There are our predictions. We ran a little late than normal. The show usually doesn't last as long, but we had all the matches to cover. But it is about that time. Anyway, thank you for joining us for After the Impact. Of course, we all hope that, again, you will come back to see us on Sunday night for all of Rebellion, and let's watch together and find out what is going to happen at this potentially historic pay-per-view this coming Sunday night. So don't forget to join us, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We will have Rebellion. We'll all be here. Myself, Jeff, and Tazzy will be here to watch, and I hope you guys will be too. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for both shows tonight, for both the Impact Watch Along and for After the Impact. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had a great time. And I hope you have a great rest of your night. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of the night. Enjoy tomorrow as well, of course. SmackDown and then Tazzy's after party. And then come back with us on Saturday. We have the podcast at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, geez, I'm forgetting again. Hot Tag. Hot Tag is back tomorrow as well. So don't forget Hot Tag at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. That's Jeff and Brandy to watch that. And then, of course, check out SmackDown. Then check out Tazzy's after party. And then come and see us on Saturday night, which should be another very interesting podcast. We will have a lot to talk about from the news in wrestling. And then that is at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and then come back for Rebellion on Sunday. That's it, guys. Hope you have a great rest of your night from Jeff and Tazzy and myself. Stay safe, and we will talk to you soon. Good night, everybody.